वक्ता परिचय गीते लास्ट.
So today's Vakta Parishad is Mohit Singh Ji. Back in birth, he is from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, aka Uttar Pradesh, and he is Pratmik Varg Shiksha Sheikh and with the Sangh for 4 years. Before he relocating to Bloomington, he was associated with Bangalore BTM IT Milan Shakha. Welcome Mohit for work. Thank you.
Amrit Vachan. Sangh is the Havan Kund in which Swayamsevaks plunge themselves like so many sandal sticks, unmindful of which burns faster or first. Here burning is the essence. This is said by our Param Pujniya Dr.
This is a Vayaktik Geet, so no need to follow. Vasundhara Parivar Hamara, Vasundhara Parivar Hamara, Hindu काय है विशाल चिंतन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन, वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। अखिल विश्व के पथ दर्शन की मुनिजन संतों की अभिलाषा, बंधु भाव से सब जग जोड़े वेद और गीता की भाषा, समरसता मंत्र के नाद से हम भर देंगे सारा त्रिभुवन, हम भर देंगे सारा त्रिभुवन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन, वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। जड़ इहवादी तत्व ज्ञान को पराभूत होते देख रहे, भक्ति सहित कर्तृत्व चढ़ाकर पूजा चैतन्य की कर रहे, सदा विजय कर्तव्य धर्म का, स्वतंत्रता का मुख में गायन, स्वतंत्रता का मुख में गायन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन, वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। व्यक्ति व्यक्ति सब विलीन होकर समाज जीवन नित कुसुमित हो, सर्वस्वार्पण के कल्पतरु नव फल फूलों से शोभित हो, काल बाह्य सब छोड़ बनाए, भविष्य अपना दिव्य चिरंतन, भविष्य अपना दिव्य चिरंतन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन, वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। आकांक्षा प्राचीन हमारी, नवयुग की गा रही आरती। त्रिकाल विजयी संकल्पों की, नव पुरुषार्थ करेगा पूर्ति। अखिल विश्व में सुख शांति हो, जनमानस का यह संकीर्तन। जनमानस का यह संकीर्तन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन। वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। नवयुग के नव आह्वानों को, नव साहस से स्वीकारेंगे। भूतकाल पर विजय प्राप्त कर, नव विक्रम ध्वज लहराएंगे। विश्व धर्म का अमृत देंगे, आर्त जगत का यह संजीवन। आर्त जगत का यह संजीवन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन। वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा। हिंदू का यह विशाल चिंतन, इस वैश्विक जीवन दर्शन से मानव जाति होगी पावन। वसुंधरा परिवार हमारा।
परम पूजनीय डॉक्टर जी, गुरु जी, and my dear Swayamsevak Bandhu. Today, in this day, we are celebrating our festival which named as Varsh Pratipada. And in this auspicious and holy day, we also celebrate the birthday of our Pujniya Dr. Ji. So, first of all, I want to thank all of you to provide me an opportunity to speak in this great occasion. In this birthday, first I will talk about the importance of Varsh Pratipada. In that regard, I will give a brief about Hindu calendar. We will talk about Sangh, its philosophy, and we will also talk about at the last how and why we should contribute in Sangha. How Sangha is important in present and Sangha will be important in future of India. So before coming to Varsh Pratipada, as you know, we will see little brief about the Hindu calendar. As you know, most of the Hindu festivals are based on the Hindu calendar, and might be few of us know about very well Hindu calendar, but most of us we do not know how these festivals, sometime Holi will be in some different date, sometime Holi will be in some different date, how these dates are getting changed. So while talking about the calendar, as you know how calendar was evolved. So as I think it might be when our civilization, in the world civilization, when people would have thought there is a repetition of the season, when they did not know about the motion of the moon, motion of the sun, motion of the earth, but they would have still thought there is a repetition of a season. There is after a certain interval of time, there is a repetition of summer, there is a repetition of rainy season, and they slowly came up with the concept of a a calendar, or in Hindi it is, or in Sanskrit it is called as a panchang. That calendar helped them to grow the cultivation, because a certain type of crops are cultivated in certain types of period. If we were able to see when is the next full moon day, it was very helpful for them, because might be the full moon day or no moon day is not important to us now, but think about 200 years back when there was no electricity, and at that point a farmer has to put some water in his field. He can, and if you see in the full moon day, there is enough light. People can see the way and he can do his own work. So in that way they can schedule their work in the full moon day or nearby places. So it was quite important for them. Along with that, they can also predict about the wind, about the climate. So while talking about the calendar thing evolved in a different ways in different part of the world. Normally we follow three main type of calendars. One is a solar calendar, next one is a lunar, and the third one is a lunisolar calendar. Solar calendar is mostly followed in the Europe region. And it's quite simple, and we call that in different way is a Gregorian or Julian calendar, which we normally follow. This calendar is based on the motion of the sun and earth. So it's very simple. It takes Earth around 365 solar days and 365.25 solar days to make one full complete round of sun. And that's why what we did, we made that as 1 year, because once one round of Earth is completed, it again in the same position. So again the same climatic things will get repeated. So we gave that as a 1 year. 1 year means 365 days, and 0.25 days will be accounted in every fourth year, called as a leap day. So this was the solar calendar, but since this calendar is based on the motion of the earth and sun, we cannot predict when will be the full moon day and when will be the no moon day. There is no concept of Purnima and Amavasya in this calendar. Then the second type of calendar was evolved in the Middle East region. That we also called as a Islamic calendar. That was based on the concept of the motion of the moon. And that is why if you see, most of the Islamic flags have moon in their flag, because that moon depicts, like their calendar is based on the motion of the only moon, and that is the reason if you see in Islamic festival, especially like as Eid will fall in any month of the year. There is no specific, Eid will fall in only January or only February. In every year, it will vary from one month to other month. And because the reason is very simple, because they follow their calendar only on the motion of moon, they do not correct their calendar with solar year. And there the concept comes as a lunisolar calendar. Lunisolar calendar means such type of calendars which are based on the motion of moon as well as the motion of the sun. So here what we do, all the months are based on the motion of the moon, and the whole year we correct with the motion of the sun. So year will be almost the same as the year we see in the solar calendars, like as a Julian calendar. But months will be based on the lunar cycle, the cycle of the moon. And so this lunisolar calendar was evolved mainly in Indian subcontinent, and from there it went to wherever the Indian culture and civilization was there. Most of the countries are following lunisolar calendar. Such countries are Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and all of the Southeast Asian countries along with the China. And apart from that, if you see, when Persia was not Islamized, when Persia had its own religion that we called as a Zoroastrian, still we can see many Parsis are living in exile in India, although their population is quite less, they are less than 1 lakh people, but still they represent that grand old religion. And in that religion also, the calendar was based on the lunisolar. And in fact, Jews' calendar was also based on the lunisolar. So how this lunisolar calendar operates, I will give you just brief about that. So as we know, a month are based on the motion of the moon. How much time a moon takes to make one cycle of Earth. It means if I see today from here, today is a full moon day. When there will be a next full moon day, it means in that particular time, the moon has taken one complete round of Earth. And what we did, we made that as a 1 month. And along with that, we made as a 12 month. So what happened, normally moon takes 28 and half solar days to complete one cycle. So in 1 month, in one Hindu month, there will be almost 28.5 days. But that is also not only mathematics involved is here. Because as we know, the moon and earth, moon do one circle of earth, but along with that, earth also move forwards, and moon also move forward in his own circle. So it means, so it is not exactly 28 and half days. Sometime in a 1 month it will be 28 and half days, and sometimes it will be 29.5 days also in a lunar month. And this type of calculation is done in our calendar. So if we take, suppose there are 29.5 approximate days, solar days in one lunar month. So 29.5 multiplied by 12, it becomes 354 solar days in 1 year. So it means in one lunar calendar, in 1 year, there will be 354 days. That is short of 11 days from a solar calendar. And where there is mathematics is evolved, how we make our calendar as a luni and solar. If it is totally based on the lunar motion, we will never correct it, because after 1 month and next month, 1 month will be there. But what we do over here, in 1 year we correct it. In 1 year we are short of 11 days. Okay, so in the 2 years we will be short of 22 days. So in the approximate 2.5 years we will be short of around 28 to 30 days. And that is the reason in Hindu calendar, in every 2 or 3 months, one extra month is getting added. And we call that month as Adhik Mas or Mal Mas. And it means the same month, there is no different name of that month. 1 month will get repeated more than twice. It will be repeated 1 more time. And we were talking about the lunisolar calendar. Okay, so we understood the concept of Malmas or Adhik Mas, and how a lunar month, we call such months as a lunar months, because these months are calculated in the according to the motion of a moon. So there are 12 months in a lunisolar calendar, which we say which starts from the Chaitra Mas, Chaitra, Baisakh, Jyesht, Ashar, Shravan, Bhadrapad, Kuan, Kartik, Agahan, Pus, Ma and Phagun. So the first month is called as a Chaitra month. And here I will also talk about little bit about the Tithi, how Tithis are getting calculated. So if we see, we say as a Prathama, Dutiya, Ekadasi, Trayodasi, Chaturdasi. So there what we did, in that 28.5 days, solar days, I will say as a solar day, we divided by 30. And so it means one lunar day means 28 solar days we divided by 30. And it means that one part is called as a lunar day, that we call as a Tithi. It means, if we think about the maths, in one lunar month, a moon rotates 360 degree angle of Earth. If I divided 360 via 30, it means in one Tithi, moon goes from its position to other position 12 degree. Means in each 12 degree, in after 30 days again it will become in the same position. So it means in each Tithi, the angle of moon which moves forward from its own current location is 12 degree. Okay, so it means our tithi is totally based on the motion of the moon, and that is the reason the tithi is not related to the solar day. As you see, our solar day starts from a sunrise and is in and when sunset happens. But tithi can start at any point, and tithi can end at any point. Normally it takes around between 19 to 26 hours. Sometimes tithi will be 19 hours, sometimes tithi will be 26 hours. And that is why sometimes when there will be a marriage, we will see which tithi is good, which tithi is not good. And that's why sometimes we say the muhurat is happening at 3 o'clock. Because might be the next tithi is starting at 3 o'clock at afternoon. And we think, and sometimes we again ridicule ourselves, how could it be possible the muhurat is only at 3 o'clock? It can be at any point. But it is not the case. It is well scientifically calculated time. And when the position of moon and earth and sun will be there in our solar system. So this is the concept of the tithi. So the whole 30 tithi we divided into paksha. As you know already, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Shukla Paksha is called as the 15 days, 15 tithi. It will be approximate to 14 days because total time is 28.5 days. So 15 tithis will be part of the Shukla Paksha, that is called as a brighter phase of the moon. When the moon goes to the brighter phase, that is called as a Shukla Paksha, and Krishna Paksha when moon goes to the darker phase, and finally it becomes as a Amavasya or no moon day. So we got the concept of Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. And now let's come back again to our calendar. As you see in our calendar, Hindu calendar, we consider Chaitra Mas as a first month. But there, and again I will speak here one more point. This calendar, because as we know, our earth, the position is based on the longitudes. So it means today if I will in Lucknow, I will see moon, a full moon. Might be I could not see at the same time full moon at some different place. That is why Hindu calendars are very specific to a region. There will be a little bit difference, a calendar which is made in Banaras, and there will be a calendar which is made in the Ujjain. Because it considers its location specific, because it totally based on the motion of the moon. Okay, so let's talk about here the first month. Okay, so there is some part of the India we consider the start of the month from a Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha means darker phase of the moon, okay, and means Purnima will be the last of the month, and after Purnima month will be start. Some part of the India we consider Amavasya as the last of the month. So if we go to the northern part of the India, like from the place I belong to, in UP and Bihar and MP, we consider Purnima as the last of the month. That is why we say Holi is there in the Fagun Purnima. So after Holi, Chaitra, Fagun will be finished. It's not finished. Fagun will be ended and Chaitra will be started. So in northern India, a new year is celebrated just after the Holi, because that we consider as the first day of the Chaitra. But if you come to the central part of the India, like especially in the region of Maharashtra, Andhra, Karnataka, or some part in Assam, there we consider Amavasya as the end of the month. So what happens? Here we consider Shukla Paksha as the starting of the month, and that is the reason the Chaitra, but concept is the same. Chaitra Mas, Shukla Paksha, Prathama Tithi is called as a Varsh Pratipada. So for us, for the people who belong to North India, it was 15 days back, just after the Holi. But the people who belong to Central India or Southern India, for them it falls into the coming 29th of March. That is the first day of the month. So here we talked about how Hindu months are calculated, and how this Varsh Pratipada comes. Okay, so this concept of New Year it is not limited to one or two states. The same time, this new year is celebrated with different names of the festival across different states of India. Like as we say, people who are from Maharashtra, we celebrate this festival in the name of Gudi Padwa. In people who are from Andhra or Karnataka, we celebrate as Ugadi and Yugadi. And again, I will come back to that Persian religion, because at that point, Indian culture and Persian culture were always similar, and that is the point British also got confused. They thought Aryans came from somewhere from the Persia, because our culture was quite same. If you read their scriptures that we call as Avesta, it is quite similar to our Indian scriptures, and our festivals are also quite similar. And those people also celebrate the first new year in the month of Chaitra month on the Varsh Pratipada, and they call as a Navroj. Okay. Again, different part of the India. If you see in Punjabi, it comes as a Baisakhi. In Assam, it is celebrated as a Bihu. In Kerala, it is celebrated as a Vishu. Now, we will talk little bit about, because as we know, in all of our Hindu festivals are associated with some sort of certain stories. So, of course, this festival also comes with some importance in the past, and that importance comes from a victory. So, as we know, our Indian subcontinent, it was always invaded by different cultures or foreign invaders. And what was the reason behind that? Because we know the complete cartography of the world. If you see a plain region which is the most fertile region in one stretch in the whole world, it is there only in India. The region which starts from the Indus River and directly from the Indus River, which is current to Pakistan, comes from Punjab and Haryana and UP and Bihar and goes till the Bangladesh. This one complete stretch of one land is only consist in India, that is so much fertile. If you see across the world, we don't get this much plain land and this much fertile land. We get different type of land, that is a plain land that we call as a plain of United States. That the region we are living, that is called as a Midwest region. But this region, in fact, it is a plain region, but it is not that much fertile that our region was. And when the economy was based on the agriculture, means wherever you can grow crop more than once, twice or thrice, of course your economy will grow. And that was the reason most of the foreign people, like whether it's the Muslims, before Muslims there were some other tribes were there, like Scythian and Mongols, they always invaded India. And same way, when the British never wanted to go to China, British never wanted to go to Southeast Asia, everybody wanted to come to India. One of the reasons was this. Okay, so if we see about India is protected. It might get a little longer. India is protected by, naturally it is protected by from most of the part. If you see, more than half of the India is protected by sea. And many nations, 600 years back, they did not have the naval army. So there is no point of invasion of India via naval ways. Okay, in the northern part, starting from Jammu and Kashmir till Assam and Nagaland and Manipur, India is protected by Himalayas, and Himalaya ranges are very high, nobody can come from there. There are the only two places where people can come to India. And every time the invasion happened only from two places, and this is the irony of us Indian people, we could not protect only those two places. The one place comes from the Sindh region, which comes from the Iran and from Baluchistan and from Sindh. People could come over there. And the second comes from the Afghanistan through Khyber Pass and through Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, that is region of Pakistan, and which comes to the Punjab. And every time the invasion happened from those two ways only. And in the past, before Islamic, in the past also there are a lot of invasion happens. If you see about the Mongol race, Mongols are the race which are famous in the whole world for their barbarous act and their invasion to other cultures. And it is the fact, if you people search in the Wikipedia, in the Central Asia, especially the region of Iraq, Iran, before it was Persia, Iraq, Iran, or Central Asia where is now Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, it is in Wikipedia it is written, out of 4 people, 3 people are born by Mongols. Means they raided their countries, they raped their women, and the people who, the next generation came from the Mongol, and it is not some, I am saying, it is written very well in the history book and Wikipedia. Wikipedia is generally very acceptable view of history. Okay, so those Mongol people also tried to invade India. Along with Mongol, there is another tribe we call as a Scythian. In Sanskrit, we call as a shakha and a Huna. There are a lot of invasion happened, and similar to that, one invasion happened before, around 100 years before Christ was born. And at that point, they came till Ujjain. The whole North India was captured and they came till the Central India. And at that point, and again this is also one of the beauty of our Indian culture, whenever it will be subjugated, whenever it will be defeated, there will be some people within India, they will rise, they will unite people, and they will again win back. They will again defeat to the foreign invaders. And similar thing happened. The person named called as a Vikram. He took a pledge and he told, I will free my own country people and I will defeat these shakas. Because those shakas, their territory was almost in the whole Central India, Central Asia, and they captured almost the whole North India. Nobody would have ever thought whether Shaka could be defeated. He took it, he defeated Shaka and he killed that Shaka king somewhere near to Lahore. And it means slowly that India again came ruled by its own native people. And that particular day we celebrate as a Varsh Pratipada, the day that ruler, that Vikram, he defeated to Shaka ruler. And he became a king, he made Ujjain his own capital, and he took the name as a Vikramaditya. And that patha still goes on. Even now, if any ruler in northern India or central India, if he becomes a very powerful ruler, he makes his own title as a Vikramaditya. And it comes from that legend itself. So, and from there itself, our own calendar started, and we call as a Vikrami Samvat. So Vikrami Samvat started from that Varsh Pratipada, from the name of that particular king as Vikramaditya. And then this Vikrami Samvat is 57 years ahead than this our this current Samvat which we follow. So today is 2017. If you add 57, you can get the exact year in the Vikrami Samvat, and the calendar is again followed luni-solar. Okay, now the question, and I will talk about our Pujniya Dr. Ji, because this is the day when Dr. Ji was born. And if you see, I will not talk more about Dr. Ji because we already know the personality of that great person, but still I want to give some difference of his personality. If you see, when Dr. Ji also saw the history of India, it was not one invasion. There are a lot of invasions happened in India, and a lot of invasions were stopped by our Indian kings. But few invasions which came that we know. If anybody of you know, there was a ruler in India at the time of Gupta Empire. His name was Samudragupta. He is called as a Napoleon of India. If you see, the Napoleon of India is called as a Samudragupta. And Napoleon, as we know, Napoleon was the empire builder. He conquered almost France and almost the whole Europe. Means a person who conquered most of of the states, and with that was the Samudragupta. Samudragupta conquered almost all the states of India like Ashoka, and he stopped many Mongol invasions when the Mongol were enslaving all the central India, because Mongol is a tribe of Mongolia, it is not from central India. Mongolia is on the northern part of China. So when they were invading at the part of Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, of the Central Asia, he saved India by their invasions. And like that, there are many rulers were there. But if you see, at every time when India was slave, when Dr. Ji talked about what was the reason, this is a very beautiful country, we are not a coward people, there are many races. Like if you talk about the Rajput, like Rajput, if you see, or you talk about the Maratha, you talk about the Jat, in every part, you talk about the Cholas. In every part of the India, there are the races which are the marine races. Means this is not a simple country. Then how could the foreign power came to India and they invaded India and they successfully ruled India to several hundred years also. And then Dr. Ji thought, yes, and it happened. It happened if you see, and then he got the reason. India was invaded, India was enslaved because people of India were not united. And that is the only reason India was invaded, that is the only reason India was enslaved and ruled by foreign culture. Because we people India were never united. Because we never thought, if today any attack is happening in Takshashila, a person who is ruling Magadha, he will think, this attack is happening in Takshashila, that is the border state of India, why should I worry? But he forgot, if we consider the whole country as a human body, if today cancer is there in one finger, tomorrow it will affect the whole body. And that's what it happened every time in India. Among us, some people always supported foreign powers. Some people always supported foreign powers for their own personal and narrow gains. They could not understand this is something like as a cancer. And I will tell you the reason. Okay, if foreign culture or foreign civilization is great to us, there is no point. Okay, let foreign people rule us. But I will tell you how foreign culture and foreign civilizations ruined India, and ruined not only India, the other part of the world also. So then if you see, when Alexander came, at that point the king of Takshashila was Ambi. If you read history, the Ambi, when the Takshashila came, Takshashila was the border state. Border state, that is current, the part of the Jammu and Kashmir, part of the little bit Afghanistan and part of the little bit of Pakistan. That was called as a Takshashila state. And after that, the next state which comes, that was the Punjab. And then when Alexander was coming, he already heard the story. Like Alexander is an army of the Greek people and he already won Persia. And they are coming to India. He became scared. He sent his people to other Indian rulers, but nobody came. And finally he thought, okay fine, I will become an ally of Alexander. And what he did, he opened that Khyber Pass. He successfully, all the armies, very easily they came to Takshashila, because Takshashila, the army became the ally of the Alexander. And then, yes, there are few people, they stood to save, they stood against all the foreign invaders, but they were the small compared to other powers, and in that, the King Puru, who was the king of the Punjab, he stood and he fought very bravely. That even the Alexander, when he returned back, he made Puru as the titular king of the kingdom which he won, because he was so much impressed by his bravery. And but to help Puru, no other Indian states came. Magadha was at that point, Magadha was the one of the very powerful state. But Magadha never came to help to Puru. And slowly, Greek came to almost the whole of the northern India. And at that point, then Chanakya came. Then some people, like I say, Swami Vivekananda, Dr. Ji, at every point of the history, these people came and they made many leaders among this youth, these people. So he made Chandragupta. And then again Chandragupta, again he invaded, he conquered the part which Alexander won. And the beauty of this, if you are united, united and the whole India is one entity at the time of Chandragupta, it was almost the whole of the northern India under his control. And the third king of the Maurya Empire was the Ashoka. At the time of Ashoka, the whole India was under the Maurya Empire. And the point was at that point, even one of the general was called as Seleucus. Seleucus married his own daughter to Chandragupta. Means if you are united, the whole world is going to respect you. Giving the daughter is a symbol of because we only give daughter to a person to whom we respect. It is a matter of prestige. Whatever is the consequences, that's a different thing, but it's a matter of prestige. We cannot give our daughter to anyone. So it means when we are united, when you are collected, the whole Indian states, we become a power and whole world appreciate this. We have seen this thing in different time of the history. Same thing happened when after Maurya Empire happened, then Gupta Empire comes, and that was the period when India was a full union. At the time of Gupta, at the time of Maurya, we call that time as a golden time of India. Then most of the inventions what we currently proud of are all the inventions happened at the Maurya and Gupta Empire. After that, nothing happened. And then similar thing happened when the Islamic invaders came to India. When the Islamic invaders came to India, there was a ruler called as Prithviraj Chauhan. He stood against them. He fought. But other Indian rulers, they never come to help to Prithviraj Chauhan. They thought it's the personal war of Prithviraj Chauhan. Why we should worry? We are happy in our own life. The other states of the India, even in the south, there was the Rashtrakutas, in the Cholas, and they never come to help Prithviraj Chauhan. And people should not think at that point there was no mean of communication. There were mean of communication, and you can think about this if you go back 100 years back in the history. Most of the people were marrying in other states. Nowadays we marry in our own cities. But at that point, if you see in history, one person marries, one daughter of one kingdom marries to another kingdom. So it means people were in connection. There were the communication, but no state from the southern India, no state from the northern India came to help Prithviraj Chauhan. And still in the history, I don't know how many of you people know. We know Humayun Maqbara, we know Aurangzeb Maqbara, it is in Aurangabad. We know Shah Jahan Maqbara, that is a Taj Mahal. But how many of you knows? How many of you knows the Maqbara of Prithviraj Chauhan? The Maqbara of Prithviraj Chauhan is currently in Afghanistan, in Ghazni. The person who stood for India, nobody among us knows about him. They took him in Afghanistan. They blinded him, and finally, because they wanted to kill the spirit of India, they were telling, okay, I can kill your people like this. And similar thing, when that was the case of Muhammad Ghori, when they came to India. Second attempt happened when the Babur came. At that point from the Rajputana, Rana Sangha came. But again, at the time of Rana Sangha, so if you go to history, see all the facts. The first day the war was there till 2 days. The first day of the war was won by Rana Sangha. But the second day, he was expecting some supporting troops to come from other Rajput kingdoms. Because after 1 day, most of the people were killed. That was the plan. The next day, the reinforcement will come. And those kings, they did not come, they allied with Babur. And when they allied with Babur established the whole Mughal kingdom in India. And after that, till the point Shivaji did not come, there was no major revolt in India against Islamic powers. And we see, it was not Islamic state, Islamic things. It did not come till only Pakistan or northern India. Slowly it went to southern India also. Slowly it went to the Maharashtra, then Adil Shahi kingdom, and then in Golconda kingdom. So in most of the India it came in Bengal. So the point, the same logic, in the same time, when the British came, then what happened? British came, the Nawab of the Bengal was the Sirajud-Dowlah. When Sirajud-Dowlah was fighting, his own general, Mir Qasim, means it is not something specific to Hindu and Muslim, it is specific to a gene of India. We always think our own personal gains more than our own national interest. That his own general sided with British, and that is the reason British, a very small fraction of the British, they conquered Bengal. And it is written by a British, I think, general who was in charge at that particular time, and he told when the Britishers were coming to the Bengal, like how many people are there in Bengal? If all these people could have taken one weapon, we British would have never conquered Bengal. But it never happened. And then only the Dr. Ji thought. He thought about our freedom struggle. And again I will tell you one more interesting story, because I did little bit research over here, and okay, so I will finish in next 10 minutes. Okay, so if you see about the Dr. Ji, okay, if you see about the Dr. Ji, what he did when he thought about India, he thought in the past also we have got the freedom from foreign cultures, but whether we are able to retain that freedom, that was the main area of concern. Somehow all the freedom fighters are fighting. Subhash Chandra Bose was there, Lokman Tilak was there, Gandhiji was there, and everybody contributed. There is no doubt in that. But whether this freedom can be retained, because in past also there were the people who freed India, but after 300-400 years down the line again it got enslaved. And then he thought about Sangha. And again here I will talk about what are the dangers and what are the consequences happens when one culture subjugated by other cultures. And it's from the history. I think everybody, all of among us, we know about Egyptian culture. Even till now we were not able to think about how pyramids were made. And that was, they were strong in the engineering. But the point Islam came, I am not saying it is Islam, I am saying when the point of foreign culture came, what was the consequence of Egyptian culture? At what state the Egyptian is? What is the contribution of Egyptian from last 1500 years? Zero. You will not get anything which is contributed by Egypt to the world. Same thing happened to the Persian culture. I think among us, when I was reading about the Persian culture, I was amazed. Persian at one time, they were far ahead than Indians. That the Persian culture where the religion is called as a Zoroastrian. And even now, the whole, in India there are 70,000-80,000 people are there in Persian. But if you see the topmost Persian people, they contributed after independence in India. If I take all the Tata industry, they are from Persians. The person who started atomic program in India, Homi Jahangir Bhabha, he was a Persian. Then a person who won the 1971 war, he was a Persian. Very small people, the people were great. But again, Persia was, and if you see about the Persian culture is like, it's very much advanced in the engineering. It's a whole desert region. If you see the current is called as Iraq and Iran, the whole desert region, and what they did, they have only two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. And they made so many multiple dams. From those regions, all the cities which were there in the Persian region, they get water from those rivers. And if you see even now, if you see the 7 wonders of the world, the one wonder comes as a hanging gardens of Babylonia. Where is Babylonia? Babylonia is in Iraq, that was the Persian culture. So it means, what happened to the Greek culture when it was conquered by Romans? The Greek, which we read today, most of the